logged on already. We're just waiting for a few more people, I think, to get logged onto the webinar. We'll get started in a couple of minutes' time. Okay, guys, so that's 3 o'clock. We'll get ourselves started now on this month's webinar, which is how to broaden your acquisition strategy to maximize conversions and scale your dating business profitably. My name is David Adams. I'm the Head of Business Development and Account Management here at White Label Dating. I've been here for 8 years and have spent most of those 8 years being an account manager. I've worked with a number of you in the past and I'm now heading up the division and looking forward to taking you through this webinar today. First of all, let's have a look at what we're going to learn today. So hopefully you guys are going to go away with an idea as to how to broaden your current acquisition strategy in new networks and territories, how to broaden your acquisition strategy using new sources to reach new audiences, how to prioritize which channels you spend your time on, and how to scale your dating business quickly and profitably. So why should you broaden your acquisition strategy? What are the benefits of it? Some of you have been in the dating market for a number of years now. I have. Some of you may be relatively new to it, very behind. Anyone entering the market now is going to be going up against some real legacy brands. Likewise, they're going to be going up against a lot of new products. There's a number of new niches that have come out in the last 18 months. And all of these add up to a lot more competitions that you have to deal with. Now, exploring untapped areas within your current portfolio can boost campaign ROI and highlight new opportunities. And trialing new sources altogether will allow you to scale when you've maximized the sources you're currently using. So there's two elements to this webinar today. There's expanding your reach on how to look for new sources and which each kind of source can bring in terms of strengths and weaknesses. So looking first at the benefits of expanding your strategy. So targeting a new territory or network will give you access to new leads. It's one of the easiest ways to expand your acquisition strategy as a whole for your business. And when people think about acquisition strategy, it's so easy to get bogged down with only thinking about new sources, new campaigns, etc. But ultimately, there's a number of territories that operate on white label dating. And each of these, if you move your brand into those territories, it gives you access to a whole new market to go after. And broadly, I mean, there are some exclusions in terms of location-based brand names, but a generic brand name, there's very little reason why it can't be launched in all 7 territories that we offer. So broadening your current acquisition strategy, ultimately, it's a case of looking at your existing portfolio of domains to decide which ones can be launched in other territories. This is the easiest way to pick up incremental registrations. And we've got a number of tools in-house that will allow you to launch a wide variety of these domains in a very slick and very quick way using our WLD design tool. And if you've never used that before, it's a great option to launching a large amount of sites. Speak to your partner managers and they'll be able to help you out with that. Moving on to the territories that WLD can offer. Some of you may know these, some of you may not, so we're going to go through it extensively. The territories we can offer: the UK, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, the USA and Canada. And looking at each of these territories in isolation, they have pros and cons. So the UK has high volumes of traffic. There's good national coverage. There's not really parts of the UK where we don't have active databases present, which are at optimum levels of members to ensure you get the highest conversion rate. But as expected, the UK is an established market for the dating industry. And what comes with that is very high competition, which in turn can mean a high cost if you have a limited acquisition strategy in terms of sources. But we'll come back to that later on in the webinar. Next on the list is Australia. Now, Australia has very high conversion rates from basic registration to paid. It also has very high transaction values. So when I say transaction values, that is the amount that users are willing to pay for their first transaction. And typically, it works out to be about 30 to 40% higher on average as to what you may generate in the UK. And that's a combination of Forex transactions, when we transfer the Aussie dollar back to GBP, that can help. But also, the cost of living is significantly greater in Australia, which means that users may be willing to pay more for a dating product. And in Australia, one thing to note, it performs well with location-based domains. Australia is quite a large expanse of land, with certain locations holding a large proportion of the population. So when you're thinking about launching in Australia, it's vital that you take that into account when you're building your strategy. Moving on to South Africa, it is very cheap to acquire traffic in South Africa, and currently there's not a lot of competition. There are a couple of demographics that will be worth going after more than others. For example, the over 40s or over 50s niche in South Africa performs exceptionally well. Typically for those under the age of 30, unemployment seems to be quite high in South Africa. So bear that in mind when you're building your strategy for South Africa. But I think South Africa presents itself as a good competition, and honing in specifically on New Zealand and Ireland, they represent a very strong conversion potential. And New Zealand offers similarly high transaction values as to what you may get in Australia. So if you can attract traffic in New Zealand to your brands, you will see a very good return on investment if you can keep your acquisition cost within the certain brackets. Touching on the networks that WLD can offer as well. Again, some of you may know this, some of you may not. But we have two main networks. We have the mainstream network and we have the casual network. So what this means to you is that your brand can have at least one cross-sell opportunity. So if you have a mainstream site or a mainstream brand, you have the opportunity to cross-sell users from that mainstream brand to a casual brand that you could create. The casual brand could be connected to that initial brand, or it could be totally standalone. But utilizing the networks that we have available to you is another way to broaden your acquisition strategy, grow the volume of registrations that your portfolio generates and ultimately increase those revenues. Now, mainstream to casual is the leading cross-sell opportunity that we can offer, but that's not to say that other options aren't available. Mainstream to mainstream can work if you have a niche offering on mainstream and you're cross-selling from a kind of non-niched mainstream site, but also casual to casual can work well. We've got most of you having a good relationship with your account manager here, and if you don't, please reach out to me personally. I'll ensure that we can arrange that. The account managers are perfectly placed to help you build this cross-sell strategy, which is an integral part of any acquisition approach, and therefore it's an easy way to, again, build registrations, build revenues, and that's what we're all here to do. Or may not have running to drive traffic to your sites. So what we've got here is a list of 7 sources to consider. Now, when I say source, that means where you can go to acquire traffic for your dating portfolio. So you have SEO. That's a very broad brush term for a number of ways to attract traffic to your sites. You then have PPC, social media marketing, and native advertising. You have content marketing, affiliate marketing, and finally, email and SMS marketing. We are going to go through all of these individually with their pros and cons, their strengths and their weaknesses, and kind of what to watch out for if you're ever going to embark on implementing any of these sources in your acquisition strategy. So what are the benefits of having multiple sources to drive your business growth? Firstly, it allows you to find the best suited traffic for each of your dating sites. Some sources will suit certain sites better than others. So there's no way really of knowing which one of those 7 main sources will be able to drive the best performing traffic. So you'll need to find which ones are best suited. It gives you more cash flow control. Some sources may attract 1-month subscriptions or higher same-day conversion rates, whereas some sources may give you a better lifetime value over 6, 9, or 12 months, but it may mean that you have to wait slightly longer to see that ROI. So having a mix of sources that can give you quick cash when you need it to readily reinvest, and certain sources that can attract higher LTVs over a longer period of time, diversification of your acquisition based upon cash flow is absolutely crucial. And ultimately, it spreads the risk across a larger number of sources. If one source is to unfortunately drop for any reason, you can pick up your traffic across other sources. You know, it's the whole all your eggs in one basket scenario. If you're focusing on only one traffic source and something happens, maybe you're predominantly SEO focused and there's an algorithm change across Google or any of the other search engines. If for whatever reason your site suffers negatively off the back of that and you've got nowhere to apply your efforts and drive traffic from, you will find yourself with maybe a 2 or 3 week period whilst you're trying to turn that negative deficit around. And we all know that a couple of weeks with lower volume can really have long-term effects on an acquisition-based subscription business. So recommended sources, methods you should consider, and the benefits. SEO stands for search engine optimization. I'm sure you guys all know that. And it is the process of optimizing your website to rank higher in search engine results pages, thereby increasing the amount of organic or free traffic your website receives. Now, ultimately, there's no such thing as free traffic because more often than not, a decent SEO strategy will take a fair amount of time to implement, to optimize, and to run at scale. And of course, time is money, as they say. So there is no free traffic, but it doesn't require cash investment from the off. Having said that, every page strategy should have at least the basics of SEO in place. SEO is complemented by paid traffic, we think. We've seen organic results appear higher if adverts are in place as well. So again, it's important to diversify. The main benefits of SEO: increase visibility and brand awareness. This can support paid advertising methods. Ultimately, if somebody types in a search term in Google or Bing or Yahoo or anything like that, you want your brand to be taking up the prominent sections on that real estate. And to do that, a complementary strategy of both paid search and solid SEO can ensure that you've got the highest chance of attracting that user to your site and not losing them to somebody else's. So organic traffic is free to acquire, and therefore you can have a huge ROI. And if you can put in the time initially, you will definitely reap the rewards. An enhanced user experience can be had if users find quality content and sites for their organic searches. If you have, for example, a large blog presence or some really relevant content that a user is likely to engage with, they're more likely to buy into your brand. And if they buy into your brand, the likelihood that they're going to upgrade is greater. And SEO links, they tend to get more clicks than PPC, as some users avoid the ad symbol when searching within search engines. In terms of what we can offer bespoke SEO reports. So we can offer each and every one of you bespoke SEO reports that will show a breakdown of your domain into 4 categories. So organic search, paid search, backlinks, and display advertising, just to give you an idea as to where your traffic is coming from. Can also provide a general overview of your domain's online visibility, so you can quickly get a full picture of a website's presence. Ultimately, guys, the thing is, without knowing what your site appears for, where it appears, and how you can get it to appear, it's very difficult to build an acquisition strategy to optimize that and to grow the reach. So the first step is always, how do I appear? The next step is, how do I appear more? Providing insight into your domains allows you to make required changes to help improve your SEO presence, understand which parts of your site needs the most improvement, and ultimately monitoring your search ranking by keyword. How do we build an effective SEO strategy? SEO is effectively inbound marketing. You're putting content out there for users to search for, find themselves, engage with. And it's crucial for a dating business. Dating is a very personal endeavor, and ensuring that any potential users or your target market is engaging with the content you're putting out there will only result in greater brand buy-in and ultimately greater ROI for you guys. So link building, earning links from reputable websites is the main component of SEO. Blogs, again, that is content, high quality, relevant on-site content, and also metadata. Moving on to content marketing. Content marketing is a type of SEO. It's used to turn prospects into customers. It's great for people who have never heard of your brand before or unaware of the service you are promoting. Ultimately, you put content out there not directly to draw customers in. You put content out there because you believe and think that it is genuine, true, likable content. Hopefully, though, you will attract some users, some members, and generate a return off those efforts. SEO and content marketing, they work together. SEO makes demands, content marketing fulfills those demands. So SEO gets your content where it is. The content marketing element ensures that whatever you're putting out there is optimized and relevant. The main benefits of content marketing: it's one of the most cost-efficient methods. More inbound traffic and improved search engine rankings will increase brand awareness. Higher conversion rate and ROI due to the relevancy of the discovery cycle of the user. Ultimately, you haven't grabbed their attention artificially. You've managed to draw their attention in by putting content out there that they're interested in. It's targeted advertising as well. It can target single people specifically. Moving on to PPC, or pay-per-click. It's a method of driving traffic to your website by paying a publisher every time your ad is clicked. Search engine advertising is one of the most popular forms of PPC. It allows advertisers to bid for ad placement in a search engine's sponsored links when someone searches on a keyword that is relevant to their business offering. The main benefits of PPC: you can advertise to people searching for terms related to your site. You can get incredibly fast results. You can start and stop when necessary. May not be the best approach. We've seen in the past that Google and other search engines can take time to reevaluate the effectiveness of your campaigns, and therefore it can cost you more in the long run if you were to do that. It's very targeted. It offers you a measurable return on investment and the tools to help you optimize. It can also be tracked in the WLD campaign tracking tool. And if you're not using that currently, I'd really encourage you to talk to your partner managers about how to get that set up and running. Because what that does is it allows you to follow the life cycle of a user completely from registration to the point of paying, to the point of rebilling. And therefore you can then apply those revenue figures back to your advertising campaigns to see which elements are giving you the best ROI. And as we said before, it can support an SEO strategy. Moving on to social media marketing. Social media marketing promotes your brand and content to increase brand awareness, drive traffic, and generate leads. It can be tricky with dating. The likes of Facebook and Instagram, they do make it quite difficult for dating advertisers to become approved. But if you do get approved and understand their policies, it can be very effective for strong brands for driving, very well targeted traffic. Social media marketing, specializing in Facebook, it's a relatively new source for partners on the WLD platform. But with time and effort, this really could propel your brand and dating business. The guidelines to run a compliant dating ad on Facebook: you need to register as a dating partner. Ads for online dating services are only allowed with prior written permission. So it's mainstream sites only, and they have to adhere to the dating targeting requirements and dating quality guidelines. So they do make you jump through some hoops, but if you're prepared to commit the time and the effort to get that approved, it is definitely worth it. The main benefits of social media marketing: it amplifies brand awareness. If you think there's I think 1 in 6 or 7 people in the world now are on Facebook. There's a heavy amount of potential impressions for your ad. It offers you the ability to scale rapidly over time. Much more inbound traffic. You can keep costs low. It increases traffic and conversions. And the great content that you can put on social will help improve SEO and online visibility. Affiliate marketing. So for those that don't know, affiliate marketing is the process by which an affiliate earns a commission for marketing another person's or company's products. Now, this is a popular tactic to drive sales and to generate significant online revenue. The main benefits of affiliate marketing is it's truly performance-based. With affiliate marketing, quite often you will pay an affiliate for every registration that you receive, or you'll pay an affiliate for every paying member that you receive. And doing that ensures that you only pay for marketing efforts that are generating great performance for your brands. You're in control of your traffic volumes and whether it's an effective costing model. You can generate significant online revenue from affiliate marketing, and affiliates can rapidly scale your traffic and sales, and it does allow for easy tracking as well. So affiliate marketing, if you want to grow at scale, it is a truly effective way of measuring performance and generating some seriously high volumes of traffic. Native advertising. Native advertising is the use of paid ads that match the look, feel, and function of the media format in which they appear. I'm sure we've all seen these widgets and snippets that appear on online publications, which advertise for sponsored content. They're often found in social media feeds as well, and recommended or sponsored content on web pages. And unlike display ads, they're not display ads. They're links through to relevant content. Now, native advertising, by its very nature, it captures more attention. It can build up relevance for your brand. It boosts awareness of your brand. It can offer a better click-through rate from impression to click. The engagement of the user once they're on the next page following that click is exceptionally high. And due to the pre-qualification of the user through the native advertising model, the conversion rate can be very high once that user does eventually get through to your landing page and ultimately onto the white label dating platform. And email and SMS marketing. It's often used to promote content, discounts and events, as well to direct people towards the business's website. Now, rather than targeting your audience with ads that they don't want to see, email marketing and SMS offer a way to target the right people. Those who opt in are interested in what you have to say, making them the perfect prospects. Now, with SMS and email marketing, as always, there are pros and cons. SMS and email marketing can be cost effective. You can reach an already engaged audience if you manage to tap into a good source, which can provide a number of SMS contacts or a number of email contacts. It's easy to measure and optimize. It can offer you an instant impact. There are large scale possibilities when it comes to this. An investment can be well managed versus other bidding based platforms. With anything around SMS and email though, it's very important to ensure that if you do embark down that road, that you ensure that any sort of company that you're interacting with has all the necessary procedures in place to ensure that any of the personal information they're providing is 100% legitimate. So, key takeaways from today. Broadening your acquisition strategy is vital for maximizing your ROI, keeping ahead of the competition who are only using one method, ensuring you spread the risk throughout your portfolio, giving you more control to turn traffic on and off. You can trial which sites perform better on specific sources to give the best ROI. Said not all of your sites will work perfectly well on all 7 of those options. So it's important to find out which sites and which brands work best with each. It helps to scale your business profitably, and overall, it keeps you in control. One thing to always bear in mind: if you've got all your eggs in one basket and something goes wrong, a month, 6 weeks, or even 2 months without a high volume of traffic going to your portfolio, it can take a long period of time to get back up to those revenue levels that you'd all want to be at. So I think we've got some time for a little Q&A here. So there's some questions already coming in. Okay, so starting with the first one there, coming from an anonymous attendee. How many location-based domains should or can I have? There is no limit to the amount of domains that can run on white label dating. We are fully set up with a cloud-based infrastructure now, which allows us to have as many domains or sites running as we choose. So there is no limit there. Next one, would you recommend setting sites live in all 7 territories? That does depend on the brand. If it's relevant in all of those 7 territories, then sure, I would recommend setting it up in all 7 territories. When you do set these sites up though, guys, it's very important to remember that setting the sites live on the WLD backend doesn't necessarily fulfill the core basics of SEO. So ensure that you've got some decent content on those pages, you've submitted them to the Google Search Console so that Google actually knows to crawl your website. Next question there, would you recommend making an adult-only portfolio and cross-selling between them? That can work. And when we say adult, adult is kind of in the casual side of things. I would always recommend cross-sell, regardless of which network or territory it's in. There is no real limit to the cross-sell opportunities that can be put in place. Another question there, is SEO actually important? I think SEO is probably the most crucial element of everything that I've discussed on the webinar today. It is the foundations of ensuring that your brand appears within the search engines. Question there, Can my partner manager help me with ideas for content? Definitely. We've got some good internal resources, some great writers in-house who are more than happy to provide you with some content or some content ideas. What some of the partner managers have put together in the past is a kind of content calendar, if you will, where every month there's a piece of content that's generated. Question there from Ed. Can WLD help in obtaining location-based domains? NZ domains, .com.au domains. We can, Ed. We have a few connections with some businesses in those territories, and we'll be able to help that out. Just get in contact with your partner manager, and we'll be able to set the ball rolling there. Another question there from Ed. Does WLD have connections with any credible affiliates or affiliate networks? Definitely. We attend a number of trade shows throughout the year, and we are constantly meeting new affiliate networks, new affiliates, and we're more than happy to put you in contact with those after. In fact, I'm attending the Prague European Summit in a few weeks' time, so catch up with me after that, Ed, and I'll let you know how I've managed to get on. Question there from Lyndon. Not a lot of support coming from partner managers in terms of suggesting new niches. That does surprise me, Lyndon. I'll reach out to you after this, and I'll pick that one up personally. All right, then, guys, that's the Q&A done for today then. Thank you very much.